All right, today we're diving into a really remarkable story of economic transformation. We're going to look at how Bangladesh, in just 5 short years, completely reinvented its business landscape. I mean, they changed how companies connect, how they find partners, and how they secure investment. It's this fundamental shift from who you know to what you can actually do. This quote just perfectly captures the old reality for so many entrepreneurs. Just imagine, you've got a breakthrough idea, but there's no way in. Deals were all made in these closed circles, opportunities depended completely on personal connections, and great innovations could just wither on the vine without the right introduction. It was a system that honestly kept way too much talent on the outside looking in.
So, what are we even talking about when we say B2B matchmaking? Well, at its core, it's a smart, structured way to connect the right businesses with each other. It's all about cutting through the noise to save time, reduce risk, and, most importantly, open doors to brand new markets. And for any growing economy, mastering this isn't just helpful, it's absolutely critical.
Okay, so to really appreciate just how big this change was, we have to step back in time. Let's take a look at the old offline system, an era where business was basically ruled by handshakes, personal networks, and just being in the right room at the right time. This really paints a picture of that old landscape. Networking was totally relationship-based, which meant an investor's reach really went beyond their own regional borders. And with very little transparency came high costs, which created a system where, let's be honest, only the largest, most established players really had a consistent advantage.
For entrepreneurs on the ground, this system created some major frustrations. I mean, imagine sinking your entire budget into a trade fair only for all those promising conversations to just vanish once you got home. Vetting potential partners was like a shot in the dark, and building the trust you needed to actually close a deal, that could take months, sometimes even years. And the result? So many good ideas were just being stifled by a total lack of access. But then, a really pivotal shift began to happen. The entire ecosystem started moving towards a digital-first approach. And this wasn't just some minor update. This was a complete transformation that would basically open the floodgates of opportunity. And wow, the contrast between then and now is just stark. You can see the move from that closed, high-cost model to a hybrid system that massively increases access for small and medium businesses. The SMEs that are the real backbone of the economy. Investor reach is now global, transparency is way up, and the cost of making a connection has absolutely plummeted. It's a true night and day difference. So let's break this down a little further. The core change was this shift from being offline heavy to digital first. And that simple change had this huge domino effect. Costs for SMEs dropped dramatically, investor access exploded from just local to global, and, crucially, the follow-up process became structured and reliable. The whole cycle just got so much faster and more effective. So what was the actual real-world result of all this? Well, this digital shift wasn't just about some new websites and apps. It created a really powerful ripple effect that you could feel across the entire economy.
The impact becomes crystal clear when we look at it sector by sector. In the crucial garments and textiles industry, those short-term, buyer-driven deals started evolving into real long-term partnerships. Agriculture, which was once stuck in local markets, suddenly had direct lines to export. And look at the tech scene. ICT and software firms went from almost total obscurity to landing global clients. This was happening everywhere.
And right here, you can see the new hierarchy of connection. Digital platforms have clearly taken the lead. But what's really interesting is that the traditional methods, like industry associations and trade fairs, they haven't vanished. Nope. Instead, they found a new vital role as part of a much more powerful hybrid ecosystem. But maybe the most profound outcome of all this is what it meant for smaller businesses. SME participation just absolutely skyrocketed. Before, they were often invisible. Now, armed with online profiles and access to virtual B2B meetings, they have a genuine chance to be seen, to be heard, and, most importantly, to actually get funded. And you can't talk about this without mentioning the government's role, which was also totally transformative. It shifted from being just a passive regulator to a really active facilitator. By launching digital investment portals and creating these centralized project databases, the state added this crucial layer of structure and trust, giving both local and foreign investors the confidence they really needed to engage. So, the progress has been incredible, but the journey is definitely not over. For our final section, let's look at what's on the horizon, the challenges that still remain, and the really exciting opportunities that lie ahead.
Of course, a transformation this huge is going to leave some areas that still need work. Some of the key challenges now are bridging that digital skills gap for all business owners, making sure the platform data stays fresh and reliable, integrating all the various portals so they work together, and expanding awareness beyond just the major urban centers.
So as we wrap up this incredible 5-year journey, the key takeaways are pretty clear. 1. Digital tools democratize access for everyone. 2. This created unprecedented opportunities for SMEs. 3. For investors, the whole process became way faster and less risky. 4. Government action was kind of the glue that provided trust and structure. And finally, 5. It all came together in this powerful hybrid model, where digital leads the way, but it's still supported by traditional networking.
And this evolution, believe me, it isn't stopping. Looking ahead, we can expect to see even smarter AI-driven matchmaking, the rise of fully virtual trade fairs, and a much stronger focus on connecting startups with investors, especially for those vital, sustainable projects. The next 5 years could be just as transformative as the last.
And that leaves us with one final thought. The story of Bangladesh is this powerful testament to how technology can just dismantle old barriers. So it raises a critical question for entrepreneurs everywhere. In a world where digital tools can connect you to literally anyone, what's the secret ingredient that truly allows a good idea to go global?